Hi and welcome to today's video. Today I'm going to be unboxing and reviewing the Princeton Neptune brushes. I have got about 6 brushes. They are from different sizes, from size 2, 4, 6, 8, 10 and 12, and these are their round brush set. So I'm very excited to try these. I have tried the Princeton Heritage and the Velvet Touch, and this is the first time I'm going to be trying out their Neptune brushes. This is how individual brush looks in them. It's got the size, it's got the detail whether it's a round or a flat brush, and Princeton and the particular series that is there. So this is the Neptune series. So let's unbox this and test it. Over here I'm going to be using White Nights watercolors to test out these brushes. I've got my ceramic bowl with water, my ceramic palette, some tissues, and I love this trimplet dish. I can put anything that I want, but otherwise I think it looks like miniature version of me. So I always try and keep this around me on my table. I've got my sketchbook here. This is about 180 GSM paper. It's pretty okay for like a couple of washes in watercolors, so I'm going to test it out on this paper today. So let's start with size number 12. So I picked these up at a discount because there was a store back in Chennai where I picked this up at a discount of 20% each. I will leave the link of that store in my description box. You can check where the offer is available and you can get it. So this one is for 1375 and you can calculate post discount. So I'm going to first unbox this. So I always try and carry ceramic palettes with me whenever I'm doing my watercolor painting, because the colors on the ceramic palette are almost close to the original. The quality of the pigment is shown on them really well, and it also doesn't like dry out as fast as it does on a plastic palette. So I prefer that. If I'm traveling, I avoid the ceramic palette because I'm a little clumsy and I do end up losing a lot of these. This is my second one of the same piece because my first one broke, but it broke at my studio. So let's check this brush out. I love the hair. It is in a really nice black color. So the first thing about buying a new brush is the tip. You have to understand that every new brush comes with some gum. If you have seen my videos already, you would have seen me giving a lot of brush care tips and how to unbox a new brush. But if you're new over here, then I'll just give you a quick introduction about them. So every brush comes with this kind of a packaging on the top. Sometimes you will find that this is missing or it would have come out during the shipping, but it's fine. You don't have to worry about it. It is only to protect your brush while it is being shipped. Don't try to put it back again. Now you will notice that it's really strong, bind it together, because they use some gum to bind it together. But once it becomes flexible, you really cannot put this through, because the bristles will be a lot more flexible and you will end up damaging the bristles. So be careful about that. And every time you get a new brush, to remove the gum, all you need to do is just dip your brush in water and clear the gum out. And you'll notice how flexible the brush has now become because all the gum is gone. So let's test this out. I'm just going to quickly write all the sizes over here so it's easier for you to see what each size looks like. I've written this down and let's start testing out the colors. So I'm going to use some blue to test out this color. So it has a nice round belly. I like that it's able to hold quite a bit of color. So let's try it out here. It's very beautiful. I love how flexible it is. I don't have to like think twice, and it's moving and molding the way that I want it to. So any new brush you get, you should try out these different kinds of patterns, especially this particular one, and it will give you a good idea about the range of that brush. And you can see the tip is extremely sharp. So really happy with this. The first thing about brushes, again, for the care, make sure that you wash it quite well in your cup. Don't press it down too much like this. It'll help, end up damaging it. And wash it immediately after use. Even if it's watercolors, even if it's gouache, you know that these are water soluble, but if you leave it in your brush for too long, it will end up damaging it. And when you have expensive brushes, I think it becomes very painful to see like a lot of damage happening to your brushes. So take care of them really well. Don't also leave them like inside the water for too long. So I'm now moving on to size 10. if I have to talk about the weight of these brushes, it's extremely lightweight. So you don't even feel like you're holding something. So these things are important because if you're going to be doing like a large scale painting, or if you're going to be painting for hours together, you shouldn't be in an uncomfortable position. You won't even realize at that moment because you'll be in flow of making a painting, but afterwards your hands might tend to hurt. So it's good to have like lightweight brushes. So this is size 10. It's again sharp, it has gum, so once I put it in water it becomes very flexible. So I'll probably test it out in the same color. And trying out some lines and this pattern. I like to test out every brush to see how the tip works, how the belly works, how much of water it is able to hold. Like you can see, this is able to hold a lot of water. The color consistency is still the same. Otherwise, sometimes when you're using some kind of watercolor brushes, you have to keep going and refilling your color, which means if you're filling in a larger area, the colors may tend to change because each time you go to refill, you don't know how much of refill happens. So far, really loving them. I'm moving on now to size 8. So size 8 was for 900. I missed telling you the price of size 10. That was for 1075. I hope there's not a lot of background noise. The kids in our society have come from their school, so there may be a little bit of background noise in terms of the happy kids post school. I think that was a really fun phase to be in. So if you're an intermediate painter, or if you're somebody who is a beginner and if you're thinking whether it's worth spending a lot of money, in that case what I would do is I would recommend you to probably pick out 2 sizes. You can pick a size 6 and a size 2 maybe, so you get like a good range of a thick brush and also at the same time a thin one, so you can work around it, and then you can later go on to like more sizes. I'm in love with these brushes. I think they are so beautiful. They're amazing. So I picked out a different color for this one. I picked out carmine. So that was our size 8. I'm moving on now to size 6. So size 6 is for 620. Let me know in the comment section if you want me to do like a comparative video of all of the Princeton brushes, that is their Heritage, their Neptune and the Velvet Touch, if you would like to see something like that. It's such a beautiful flow. I really like this. I'm able to make quite thin lines, and you can see that as it goes smaller, the brush size, it's much easier to make these smaller lines. So let me give you an example. So when you're having a bigger brush size, that is size 12, the body, the handle will be a little more fatter, and in terms of height also they start changing. So when you're using a bigger brush, you will use a larger area and automatically you'll start holding it more over here than over here. You're not going to go like detailed. It's going to be in fact very difficult. So if I'm going to be holding it here, I kind of find it really hard to like manage the strokes and to control them. So you will be using your different brush sizes for different purposes. That will slowly come to you. So when you're going to a smaller size, you will notice that it's much thinner because you'll be holding it more towards the front. It's a very unconscious thing that happens. This was size 4, it's for 600, and I'm going to pick a third color for it. Maybe we'll go with some kind of a green. It's a delight to paint with beautiful brushes. I think having good brushes makes all the difference when you're doing painting. So even if your colors are kind of average, I won't say bad colors, but then if you have like average colors, you can still manage. I think if you have like a nice brush, because the feeling of painting would be good. The best bet is obviously always to have everything which is nice. And this is size 2. It doesn't tell the price over here. but since size 4 was 600, I'm guessing this will be anywhere between 500 to 580 maybe. So this is a little hard for me to open. Perfect. Okay, so pretty sharp, and let's try this out with the same green. Even the size 2 is able to hold like a lot of color, and the thin strokes that I'm able to do with it is with so much of ease. I'm very happy with the quality of these brushes. I think if you have to pick out something like this, you definitely must go ahead with the Neptune. In fact, at the store, I remember the salesperson was telling me that this is the best buy if you are looking for anything with Princeton. So far quite happy with these. I will be using them for a lot of my paintings, and I will also be carrying them along with me when I'm doing my travel sketching and urban sketching. So you'll be able to see more videos of the use of these brushes, and I'll keep you guys updated on how these are after a few months, because sometimes what happens is when you buy brushes, they may still be really good in the first use. They may be good probably for another few weeks, but eventually the bristles start getting damaged and there will be a lot of issues. So it depends also on how you take care of them. Some of them, even if you take care of them really well, they tend to spoil really fast. So let's see how these fare. I hope today's video was useful for you to understand if these brushes work well for you, and if these are something that you should go for. Thank you so much for joining me today. I will see you soon for the next video. Bye bye.